I mean, Cliff, this attempt at moral equivalency between the Israeli side and the Hamas-Palestinian side is enough to make you crazy.
Absolutely, and this is not the first piece of evidence that we've had. We've had documents from senior Hamas officials instructing innocent people, non-combatants, to stay in targets, military targets, and allow themselves to be used as human shields. We've actually had senior Hamas spokesmen on Hamas TV talking about that, and yet you've also seen various apologists and spokesmen for Hamas saying, of course we don't do that. In fact, it's racist for you even to suggest that we would use women and children as human shields. The fact of the matter is they do. We know they do, and now there's further documentary evidence that they are doing this, that they're using non-combatants as human shields, which is a war crime and an act of terrorism. That's very clear under international law.
And indeed, you don't even have to leave our own country to hear some remarkable things that are being said about this conflict. Yesterday, we were treated to a CNN contributor, Mark Lamont Hill, who literally said that Israel's Iron Dome, which is a brilliant, necessity to try to keep Israeli civilians safe from rocket attacks, well, that delegitimizes the Hamas side and gives sort of Israel an unfair advantage. Well, I forgot even the phrase he used. I mean, it was and how about President Jimmy Carter? Now Jimmy Carter is arguing that the key to ending this current conflict in Gaza is recognizing Hamas as a legitimate political actor. Now, Cliff May, help me understand that.
It's very hard to understand. It is in a way so willfully blind. Jimmy Carter can read English. I'm sure he can Google, or someone on his staff can. All he needs to do is to call up Hamas Charter on Google. Plenty of translations into English. The Hamas Charter is very clear about a number of things. One is that it's genocidal. It absolutely not just advocates, but vows it will exterminate Israel. It wants to kill Jews worldwide. It's quite explicit about that. And it also says that there is only one solution to the problem of Israel. That solution is jihad, and by which they do not mean personal struggles and weight loss. They mean jihad of the sword. And they say that anything else, negotiations, conferences, all of that is a waste of time. We can't do that. Now, Hamas has been very badly damaged, and we can talk about this, about what's going to happen going forward. But the point you're making, and it's an important one, is that Jimmy Carter seems not to understand what Hamas believes. It has a coherent ideology. It's supremacist. It's bellicose. It's hateful. It's intolerant. But it has one. And Jimmy Carter doesn't seem to know it. He seems to think this is something like the Urban League or the NAACP.